Yeah, we're gonna go through some simple ways to make money as an artist or musician. And there are obviously like probably many other ways too, but I'm just gonna go through the most basic ones. And my favorite one, the most interesting one in my opinion, as the last one. Okay, let's get it. So first one is streams, and let's go through some pros and cons with all of these. So the pros with streams is that it is quite passive, it's online, and the cons are that it's quite little. Like you get paid super little nowadays per listener on the streaming platforms. Next one is shows. And the pros about this is that you can get paid quite a lot for one gig actually, depending obviously like how big you are and how popular you are in the location where you're going to perform to. The obvious downside is that you need to physically travel there, you need to perform, and you will have to travel back, so it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and so on. And of course, usually performing is fun and really enjoyable. It's not a minus if you're an artist. But when I talk about these pros and cons, I talk about them just from the point of view that what is the easiest and most profitable way of doing things? What is the most ideal, easy way of making money? Okay, so from that point of view, obviously traveling and taking a lot of time, taking a lot of energy is not really that convenient. So that's a con. Also, another con is that because you have to physically be there yourself, it's not scalable, so you cannot be in multiple places at the same time, so you cannot do it at big scale at the same time. Next one is merch, and the pros of this is you can scale it, you can sell lots of clothes at the same time, so that's cool. And another pro is you can hire a team to actually do this. So you as an artist, you can just basically see the mock-ups, the prototypes of the merch, and you can be like, oh, I like this one, I don't like this one, and that's all you're gonna be doing, and then maybe promote it on your social media. So you can have other people run the operations for you, which is kind of cool. And then the bigger you get, the more you can scale it. And this is why merch is so popular. It is such a scalable and kind of hands-free thing for the artist to do. But the downside of merch is that it's a physical product. There can be problems with delay on delivery because you have to work with factories. You might have to have like designers designing actually this merch and so on. And then sometimes you have to have a storage for the clothes, unless you do a pre-order, which means that people order the clothes, and then the clothes get made afterwards and get delivered straight from the factory to the customer. But that can be also problematic because it often takes quite long before the clothes get delivered. You have seen even like some big artists, maybe because they do in such like big volume, such big masses of merch, you have seen that a lot of times it takes a long time for the merch to arrive. I think like Travis Scott, for example, many times there has been some stuff that takes like forever to arrive, sometimes like half a year or something, which is quite crazy. But honestly, this is not such a big deal for big artists because fans are more patient and more forgiving because they really want this stuff. But if you're not a huge artist like Travis, this can be a huge problem when people have to wait for longer than a week or something, because then they start thinking they've been scammed and want a refund. And the smaller you are, the less patient people are gonna be. Also, it's not the most ideal that you need to spend quite a lot of money to produce these merch, and then the profit margin, which is the profit you make from the clothes, is not always so big per clothes, so that's not like completely ideal. But it's still obviously a good thing overall. That's why many artists do it. And then the last one, and this is actually quite new concept, and this is something that I think is gonna get a lot bigger because of platforms like School, and that is the platform that I'm gonna be talking about now. And it is having a community. So cons for having your own online community is that, let's say it's a School community, it costs minimum $10 a month or something. And another con is that you actually need to think what is in the community, and you need to actually do something sometimes in the community. But if you ask me, those are quite small cons. Like the cons is that sometimes you have to go on your community and type something or hop on a video call or whatever. But we will get more into that later. The pros is that you get reoccurring revenue, meaning that people can pay you monthly or yearly or just once, depending on what you want. But let's say you get paid monthly, you will get every month paid by these members that join your community. So this is quite cool. Imagine like you're artist, you're building your fan base, and instead of just trying to get money with these old ways, you will actually have some of your fans to join your community, and they will gladly pay for it if they are your fans or super fans, to get access to exclusive things from you. And there are not many places where you can get this like reoccurring revenue, meaning paid consistently in music, because a lot of it is based on random like gigs or random merch drops or that kind of stuff. And streams are, you know, like who cares about streams? So I think this is one of the best like new things that artists could do, honestly. So let's go through a couple of things that you could actually have inside this school community. And there are two ways you can approach this. The first way is teaching, pretty self-explanatory. You will teach about any skills you have in music. It can be singing, playing an instrument, about performing, about like some industry stuff, you name it, you know it the best yourself, where you have the best skill sets at and what is something that your fans might want to learn. So this is the educational info product route. The second one is fan service, which could be, for example, early access to things or exclusive content like behind the scenes on how you do things or whatever. Only sky is the limit with this. And as a creative person, I'm sure you can come up with ideas on what you can do in your school community. But this is something that I'm gonna teach more about upcoming videos. Like, let me know in the comments if you even wanna learn more about this. And check out the description, Music Biz School Community. I will be there teaching in detail in the Music Biz premium calls on how to do this. So check that out if you're truly interested in this. If this is something that you might wanna take seriously, building a school community. And you want to check out this really helpful video over here, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.